Hello and welcome to Fresh Faced One Shots. My name is Joey.
And I'm Jacob.
And today we are back with, you're starting with X-Men by Jed MacKay. This is the first part of our first X-Men crossover event on One Shots. This is Raid on Graymalkin, part 1 of 4. This is X-Men number 8 by Jed MacKay, with art by Ryan Stegman. So I've been covering X-Men on Fresh Faced Solos for a while myself.
You have.
But you're joining me for the One Shots in this particular case for our crossover event because we've been reading through Uncanny by Gail Simone. So tell me what you think of Jed MacKay on X-Men. I just kind of want to know general thoughts first.
Okay, so it's fascinating because this is a crossover between books. Yet I feel like, even though she isn't writing this, Gail Simone seems to be influencing this a bit more.
She definitely had a lot more to do with the setup of this event than Jed MacKay did.
She definitely set it up, and she definitely does things out more. What's fascinating to me is how cohesive a team Jed MacKay's X-Men is. They have been consistently pretty in line with each other. Aside from the banter between the younger members of the team, but even then, it still feels like team banter. Whereas Simone's book is playing more on the rift between old and new and sort of metaphorical outcasts. I mean, I think that comes because Jed MacKay has Scott Summers leading the team.
And also Gail Simone's run is very different in that a lot of her run is focusing on creating entirely new characters for the X-Men. Whereas MacKay is entirely working with previous elements. There are no new members of the team here. But again, in the point that Simone has definitely done a lot more setup for this event in that of the 3 big X-Men captured and put into Graymalkin for this event, 2 of them are from her run. Dr. Ellis, being our sort of primary antagonist for this, is a character solely set up in Simone's run. She has never shown up in MacKay's X-Men at all. So this is mostly a follow-up on Uncanny stuff. So thankfully, I don't think you are going to be lost in an event like this at all.
I haven't been lost. There are definitely characters I'm just not familiar with because I haven't read them. I know Cyclops. I thought I knew Beast, but there's some stuff.
I thought I did too. Thankfully, I have had some lovely commenters on Fresh Face Solos throughout my reading of X-Men by Jed MacKay, who have helped me on some recent From the Ashes X-Men things that I just was not aware of. So thank you to those people who have lovingly kept me up on those things. Beast was apparently evil for a significant period of time, and now he's not, thankfully, so we think. He is captured here in Graymalkin, being watched by Dr. Ellis, and someone that looks suspiciously like Norman Osborn with that haircut. I don't think that's who it is, but
it's not supposed to be Norman Osborn.
But that was my first thought. Here we have also the X-Men beginning their planned assault on Graymalkin to get Beast out of there. Of the team, who did you know? Who did you know going in?
I quite literally, I only knew Scott and Beast.
Magneto and Juggernaut are also on the team, but they don't show up at all in this issue.
I think Juggernaut gets a cameo. I had Psylocke before, and I was aware of Kid Omega because of Critical Role, literally because in one of the Halloween episodes. I think possibly the first one.
Tellison put together a very low effort Kid Omega. Yeah.
And that is it.
Magic is a New Mutants character primarily, and Temper is a character that I didn't know at all before this run either. But Temper is a character that I've grown to love a lot throughout these early issues of MacKay's X-Men. We're planning our attack here. We're also going back and forth between that and Graymalkin itself, where Beast is meeting up with our other 2 captured X-Men, Jubilee and Calico. I love Calico's role in this scene. What's up?
This is where we get so Beast and Jubilee haven't, or Jubilee hasn't met, or Beast hasn't met this Jubilee because this is a younger Beast from before he went evil, maybe? It's a whole thing.
But man, I love the scene with Calico here. Really it's directly following up on a scene from the last Uncanny issue, actually, where Calico completely embraces her identity as a mutant. So there's this idea that, she thinks she doesn't belong here. So Dr. Ellis comes up to her and is like, hey, if you don't belong here, just tell us you're not a mutant and we'll get you right out of here. And
specifically that her family has been in touch. The line is, your family, your wealthy, politically connected family has gotten in touch.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's... I think we're opening some... I mean, we already knew they were wealthy and politically, but I feel like Simone's in her run is going to follow up on that a little bit.
But yeah, there's this great moment of defiance where she begins eating the food they're being served, and just tears start streaming down her face, and she's like, my name is Calico of the Louisiana X-Men, and I'm a mutant. Fucking fantastic moment. I love that. Also, I love that this issue has finally given us a way to properly distinguish the two X-Men teams currently coexisting, and that is the Louisiana X-Men and the Alaskan X-Men.
Yeah!
Which is really fun. I don't know. I'd never thought of it that way before, but that's a really just fun way to put it. We then start beating Beast. The guards start beating Beast, and fight.
Well, mainly because he steps in as a guard is going to beat Calico, like.
Mm-hmm.
Beating a child, yeah, that's what you want to do.
Yeah. And so our X-Men team begins closing in on Grey Malkin. The Cyclops, Psylocke, and Temper specifically arrive, and Kid Omega is guiding the ship above. Oh, that's right. There's a small Juggernaut appearance. I totally missed that. Very small though, very very small. Also, a lovely commenter on our last X-Men video, Uncanny video, lovingly pointed out that one of the people that was capturing Jubilee last time was Blob, and so Blob shows up again here. Are you aware of Blob?
I am sadly aware of Blob.
Yeah, from the iconic appearance of his in X-Men Origins Wolverine, I'm assuming.
I have seen that film. I do not wish to rewatch it.
Did you just call me Blob? No, Bob. I said Bob. Iconic. But a lot of the rest of the issue is this great fight leading up to this moment where our X-Men are met by our Uncanny X-Men, who are here for presumably the same reason. Rogue, Wolverine, Ransom, and Jitter are here to help break out Calico, presumably. Great cliffhanger. And also this idea of this tension between the teams. Certainly not to the point that the cover promises of Rogue punching Cyclops, but it seems that is we're starting to build up this sort of tension between the two teams. And I know the cover for the next Uncanny issue is a sort of face-off between our two teams. So,
well, it's a face-off. It's referencing a very famous cover, but I can't remember for the life of me what the famous cover it's referencing is.
Yeah,
I have a feeling we may not get as much tension as nearly as much tension as the covers imply.
Oh, definitely not. But there's this idea that Rogue specifically has been very against Scott's non-intervention on Grey Malkin in general. But
it doesn't feel as antagonistic as it could, because I kind of read the last line of Rogue being almost in, I don't want to say in good fun, but potentially in good fun.
I guess we'll see. We'll see next time. I imagine, actually, here's the thing. I imagine our next Uncanny issue is actually going to be more finding out what led our Uncanny X-Men to this place.
And probably where Nightcrawler and Wolverine are.
Yeah, and also, oh god, what's the other outlier's name?
Deathstream?
Deathstream, that's it.
The Ember. We need to know where the horse is.
We need to know where the horse is, of course. I mean, the horse is going to save the day in the end if Calico's captured.
Yes.
But, I guess we'll find out next time. I think Uncanny is out next week, actually, right?
Right, yeah.
Well, it might be this week, depending on when this comes out. It should be
I think quite literally, they might be alternating weeks.
I think so, yeah. So,
I think this crossover is ending on Christmas.
Okay, well, that'll be
Though we probably won't cover the end potentially until the new year. Who knows? 'Cause
potentially. I think we might have a small window to maybe get it out. Potentially, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see. Anyway, but yeah, we'll be covering this entire crossover, so be on the lookout for all of those videos when they come out. But in the meantime, check out other Fresh Face one-shots we do. We cover Superman by Joshua Williamson, Wonder Woman by Tom King, Batman the Brave and the Bold by Various, which is ending this month, which I'm incredibly sad about. We also are covering Batman the Long Halloween, the Last Halloween, the supposed end of the Long Halloween saga. Obviously, we also cover The Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone, and I personally usually cover X-Men by Jed McKay, but we're doing this as one-shots for the crossover event, obviously. Otherwise, check out the main podcast, Fresh Face Comics. We're in the middle of a bit of a Teen Titans block currently, so check all those episodes out. And then we're moving into some Suicide Squad, so that'll be a lot of fun. Also, our link trees will be in the description below. You can follow us wherever you want to follow us. There will also be an Amazon link to the issue we covered today. You can buy the digital issue there. Also, subscribe to the channel, Blood Internet Studios. Any and all support means the absolute world to us. So thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan
and Jacob Licklider.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.